Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's train wreck of a final act. On February 29, 1984, Pierre Trudeau famously took a walk in the snow that he explained the next day inspired him to announce that he was leaving politics for good. Welcome to Canadian Daily News. If you're new here, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notifications bell so you don't miss out on any of our upcoming gists. Last February, on the 40th anniversary of that poetic moment, there was some speculation that Justin Trudeau might take his own walk in the snow and announce he was stepping down. He was way down in the polls, and Canadians had clearly started to signal a desire for change. But drama teacher Trudeau was not going to exit stage right without chewing the scenery one last time. In the light of the spectacular failure of his final act on the political stage, I bet he wishes he had. The curtain didn't just come down after the Chrystia Freeland debacle opens in a new tab. It crashed down on the stage that Trudeau and his formidable chief of staff, Telford, had dominated for so long. They were left under a hail of rotten tomatoes flung by ministers, MPs, and the public. It was a shocking finale after an unprecedented debacle. Trudeau is a complex character, capable of the best and the worst. His monumental ego and his hubris have carried him through innumerable tough spots during his career. He once boasted of his special connection to Canadians, an acknowledgement that, in addition to his celebrity status, a lot would be forgiven by folks who'd known him, quite literally since birth. And he was right. Whether it was elbowing an MP in the chest on the floor of the House of Commons, or his repeated wearing of blackface and brownface in the past coming to light, there seemed to be an unfathomable and inexhaustible supply of forgiveness from his fans. Since Freeland's resignation, Trudeau's once awestruck audience of ministers, MPs, and voters have simply had enough of his play acting. Canadians might not spend a lot of time discussing the debt-to-GDP ratio, but they do know when a government has completely blown past previously announced fiscal guardrails and increased the announced deficit from $40 billion to $60 billion. Trudeau has gotten a lot of things right during his tenure, from his handling of the pandemic to a new relationship with First Nation, Inuit, and Métis peoples. Overall, however, it's his disastrous management of the public purse that stands out, and that has caused the Liberals' precipitous drop in public opinion. You can't charm your way out of a negative balance sheet. Trudeau just went through the motions of a shuffle that had become inevitable as his cabinet had more holes in it than a block of Swiss cheese. Then, something equally inevitable happened. As Trudeau presented a handful of joyous backbenchers as new ministers, far more had been left dangling. I don't believe it was coincidence that someone like Toronto MP Rob Oliphant came out squarely as being in the dump Trudeau camp on the same day as the cabinet shuffle. Trudeau clearly wanted the brass plaque under his official portrait to read Prime Minister 2015 to 2025. He'll now get his wish, but at what cost to his legacy, his party, and, most importantly, to our country? Getting out is not going to be easy. There are technical hurdles. Because defeat on a confidence motion is now a near certainty, Trudeau's options are limited. He could step down and allow caucus to inform the party of their choice of an interim leader while a shortened leadership race could be organized. But that would simply cause more instability with respect to the incoming U.S. administration. Think of it, 3 prime ministers in as many months. Trudeau, never great at planning, clearly failed to contemplate the chaos he would be creating when he stubbornly refused to organize an orderly transition. Now, that transition will take place during the most fraught political moment in Canada's recent history, a time when we need strength and stability. His most likely choice will be to use the stratagem that Stephen Harper employed twice: prorogation. That is the emergency brake you can pull when your government is about to fly off the rails. Prorogation in January, before the return of Parliament with the inevitable confidence votes, could allow the Liberal Party to hold a shortened leadership race. Harper once prorogued for over 2 months. There would be a lot of hand-wringing, but nobody could say it's not allowed. I'm told that the Liberal Party's lawyers are also looking to get rid of the category of non-member supporters who could cloud the picture if they were once again allowed to vote in the leadership race. It's going to be a procedural mess one way or the other, and again, the last thing Canada needs as it deals with Trump 2.0 is more uncertainty. We're probably looking at March before a new leader could be chosen. That leader would need to present a new throne speech that would have to be followed by a confidence vote. The new leader will have had almost no time to prepare for the inevitable general election that would follow a defeat on the throne speech vote. There's always the possibility that one of the opposition parties could change its mind and vote in favor, but that seems highly unlikely, as even the NDP now appears to have resolved to bring down the government. Justin Trudeau is following a long Liberal tradition of leaving his successor with as little time as possible to organize an election campaign. Pierre Trudeau did it to John Turner. Jean Chrétien did it to Paul Martin. Trudeau is giving his party and the country a royal après-moi, le deluge. Once I'm gone, let the floodwaters take them away. There will be many quality candidates vying for the Liberal Party leadership. Inside the cabinet, in addition to Chrystia Freeland, the exceptional Anita Anand would have a real shot. François-Philippe Champagne and Melanie Joly would likely run, but the Liberals have a tradition, stretching back to Mackenzie King, of alternating between Anglophone and Francophone leaders. Outside candidates would include former Bank of Canada Governor Mark Carney, of course, as well as former BC Premier Christy Clark. Carney is a Canadian of outside